going to go with Evil Genius.
Kevin?
I think EG's draft is cooler. Not sure if it's better, but I'll go with EG.
The Enigma kind of throws a little bit of wrench to what I was thinking, but I'm still going to go with Newbee. I really like the way that they play around with the Ursa.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah, a little bit of a split decision here on the panel. Let's introduce you to our commentary team for game number 1 and game number 2 and game number 3 potentially if we get it. I'm sure you lads are up for a 3-game at the start of the day.
Absolutely. I mean, between these two teams, especially if they're picking heroes like Enigma, it's a caster's dream.
I know, right? You just get to black. Oh, that's how you do it, isn't it?
That's why they put 2 play-by-play, so we can both scream at the same time when Black Hole goes down.
We'll be screaming with Toby in the green room at the same time just to give it more effect.
Sounds good.
Enjoy.
I'm sure the viewers will at home as well, Paul, as this one should be a fun one. EG versus Newbee. Everyone wants to watch to see if EG can really stand up to the hype that their fans have put behind them and that they're sort of the names that the players do deserve. This is the real test. Going up against Newbee, loser goes home, winner moves on. Are they going to be able to do it?
Actually, the 2 series today are so absurd. The fact that we have such strong teams faced already an elimination match for ESL 1 Katowice, and some of them will not be going to that playoffs. It just kind of blows my mind because I just did not expect that. Certainly not from Newbee, who did so well in Genting, and certainly not for Secret and Liquid, who are also in that position. Looking at this lineup, I did really like the Enigma last pick. We saw this probably a month and a half ago. Teams were just starting to experiment with Enigma as the counter pick to the Omni Knight. It feels pretty good, and with Newbee's lineup looking at a lot of teamfight potential, you may have actually just kind of beat them out in that regard. I feel like Enigma is oftentimes one of the trump cards teamfight. You get the BKB, you get the Blink Dagger. Sometimes there's just not a lineup that can really beat it.
Do you like sort of the idea behind Newbee's draft though as well? The fact that you've got sort of this farming late game core in the Terrorblade, but that can also sort of be relevant at most parts, but that you do also have him paired up with the SCC Ursa, this hero that's going to be consistently make plays across.
It really is that concept of we're going to have our lineup just be able to fight at all times of the game. I don't think they really want to be able to be in a position where they're going 45, 50 minutes just because of Ursa. I think they want to be able to dominate the game a little bit sooner than that, especially with the Enigma pickup from Evil Genius, as well as Ancient Apparition. We actually have really high impact supports coming out from EG, like the disable of the Black Hole, the disable coming out from the Ice Blast as well. Really powerful late game. So I think Newbee need to be able to take this laning phase by storm, get that Ursa snowballing.
Oh, and look at this, talking about the Ursa. Look what he's up against in the lane. EG, they're going to put the Enigma in the mid lane. So what is this to get this matchup, or is this a certain dodge of a certain lane? Why are we having the Enigma mid from EG?
The Enigma, it's just going to be able to deny a bit from the Ursa, but I think more importantly, they want to be able to put pressure on this Terrorblade. There's a difference between many of the... we casted the aggro tri lane against Terrorblade, and we talked about, hey, this guy's got really high armor. It's hard to pressure him when it comes to harassment, but look at this lane. A lot of magic damage coming off the Gyrocopter. You're going to have Ancient Apparition giving you Chilling Touch. So that's a lot of magic damage coming out from all your right clicks as well. So I think this lane can actually put a lot of pressure on this bottom lane.
See already amendments being made here by Newbee, as they will send down towards bottom the Omni Knight. So already sort of making those lane switch-ups. It looks to be the case, as you say. They realize that this bottom lane, the pressure is going to be very high. Already Ursa making his way up to the top lane, and Terrorblade now moving to the mid lane. So Newbee, they've made their changes.
Yep, they need that Ursa matchup against the Dragon Knight, because the Sand King, despite Caustic Finale, is not actually good enough to be able to win that matchup, nor is the Omni Knight. Dragon Knight's just, Thane is a bit too strong. So the Ursa is kind of like the only hero in this entire lineup of Newbee that can match him 1v1 and actually beat him out.
I'll be interested to see if we see EG move again, because I imagine still having the tri-lane down here against an Omni Knight, isn't that a bit of a wasted tri-lane? It's a very hard hero to make plays on it, after there's a couple of levels on KP.
Yeah, it also means whenever you're running aggro tri-lanes, you're always limiting yourself in experience, especially if you can't get the hard camp pull.
I'm going to make a bit of an attempt here onto Faith, but obviously the purification was there from KP, and in fact, KP turning around, giving a bit of a punch into Misery, as the Thunderstrike brings that AA down relatively low. Quick barrage from Arteezy to force KP back up in this bottom lane. But as we can see, this duo from Newbee is going to feel very strong against the aggressive of EG, and already we can see movements coming. Crit making his way towards that mid lane, because mid lane, the jump ins from Kaka with the burst strike and the metamorphosis damage. Mugi bringing Sumail down low. The telekinesis from Crit comes down as he looks to turn, drags Mugi underneath the tower. They've got the Eidolons beating in. Kaka will fall. They're going to get Mugi as well, potentially. Crit with that rotation coming in just in time to help out Sumail and help them absolutely turn that mid lane around.
The early use of the Fate Bolt was really nice because it didn't bounce and hit the Terror Blade, just lessening his attack damage onto the Enigma as well. Really nice rotation there from Crit, reading that quite well. All thanks to that mid ward that they have right next to the tower.
Fantastic time for Crit to end his lane. And sure, Sumail does still have to make his way back to base, but Crit won't mind that. He'll stick around in the lane, get himself a bit of XP on the Rubik. And Sumail, of course, now TPing back into the...
Yeah, there is no shame in letting your supports have some solo experience, especially a high-impact hero like the Rubik. He does have a lot to be able to steal in this game. Mostly, he's here to counter the Omni Knight.
Ready, Crit. In his way up towards that top lane. To actually pick up these 3.5 minutes arcanes thanks to those kills that he got involved in mid, so... be able to keep the activity very high, spam those spells. Now he'll look to stand by Fear, sure that he can keep Fear farming strong, which so far has been pretty good. As you can see, the 3 cores of EG, they're having great times in terms of CS, and a couple of the cores of Newbee just that little further behind, including Mugi's Terrorblade and KP's on. Just a bit of a difference. But
yeah, I think one of the beautiful things about EG's laning phase setup here is that they only really have to rotate their supports around, depending on what configuration. So here, like, the Rubik isn't needed at bottom lane against the Omni Knight. As you said, it's a bit of a waste to try and lane into him. So he's going to try and help out the Dragon Knight a little bit more. And they've given this DK solo experience for so long, he's actually quite tanky.
Bottom lane, they'll try for another bit of a rundown onto KP. They are doing a good job of closing the gap. In fact, KP with Purification still on cooldown. He's going to fall. They make the move. They get the kill. Same time up top, Crit and Fear holding down SCCC. They've got the Breathe Fire, the final touch from Fear as they punish SCCC, who tried to go in aggressive onto Fear. There was 6 stacks up on Fear, and the Bear felt that he could get away with it, but SCCC gets punished. 4 kills for EG. They are looking like they're doing a brilliant job of handling
Absolutely. At the same time, you had Kaka sitting mid. He's like really wanting to get this gank on Sumail, but he's sitting on top of a ward. So he like has this pressure on him, whereas like both sides are going badly. I have to go mid, but Sumail is reading it like a book. So he just plays on the right-hand side and to get really good CS. He's 20 and 11 right now.
You can see there, so in the majority of encounters in the past, Newbee have managed to take series, and then the Masters being the only exception in recent history. So far, these early 5 minutes at least, pretty strong for the American side.
I think that's a little bit expected, though. I think all 3 of these cores don't have, like, they're all going to come online in 15-20 minutes really strong, especially that Ursa with his blink, and eventually we're going to talk about the BKB. He doesn't really need an early BKB is the best part because he has Omni Knight on his team, so you get a blink repelled Ursa on top of you at 15 minutes. Not a whole lot of counter moves you can make at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. The kill potential very strong when they hit together in top lane. Kaka closing the gap with the Burrow Strike. They've got the kinetic field down as well as they look to control, surround SCCC. Quick stun from Fear, holds back the Bear momentarily, but SCCC will continue to move forward. Get those stacks up as secondary Burrow Strike comes in, holding Fear down in place. SCCC really wants the kill. He's getting low, doesn't need to commit. In fact, pays with his life because of the committal, so they do get the kill onto Fear, but it costs them the life of SCCC. Kaka will give them a bit of a runaway as Misery and Crit do temporarily try and have a look for him, but it does manage to create the distance, get out of there. So Newbee getting a kill, but costing them one of their own lives.
Yeah, it was a serious commitment from them as well, so it really doesn't offset this laning phase whatsoever. In fact, Fear's going to get his level 6, and he's going to reach this huge power spike, where they're going to try and probably go for a kill on somebody, and then he's going to turn that into a push on a tower. We'll see if he stays in his lane or goes somewhere else.
Yeah. Drag back here, Fear, not heading across for the time being, as SCCC's there to back up the Sand King. Go for the kinetic field, won't quite catch anybody. Really see Newbee with those 2 supports up top, trying to put that pressure in onto Fear, but saving all the space in the world for Sumail in the mid lane, who absolutely continues to free harm. High on the last hits and high on the denies as well. Mugi, little little more scared if that mid lane. Top
Oh
lane.
no, those phase boots. They just barely got him out of range of the ranged Dragon Tail from the Dragonite. So that is going to be a bit of a wasted ultimate. They're still going to get champ damage on, but it wasn't the kill they were hoping.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Now, towards back again in that mid lane, but we've seen it's very hard for get on top of this Enigma. Very safe, keeping himself underneath the tower. So now top lane, the pressure coming in from EG as well with that Elder Dragon form, trying to do as much as they can to this tier 1 with the first usage of it. So far, so good. Down very low. You see Kaka struggle to keep the pressure off.
Little pokes here and there. I think the difficult thing is going to be for Newbee is looking at this line. EG can play grouped up quite a bit, and they're not going to give that opportunity the pickoffs. He's much better in small skirmishes than anything.
Kaka moving around with SCCC. They're trying to get this Ursa already involved in some kills, but all revealed. We won't be able to close the gap onto Crit. Just have to turn to farming now in that mid lane.
Yeah, Crit's having a great impact as a roaming Rubik, and it's leaving Misery in lane oftentimes, and he's able to do certain things like share experience.
Look at this down bottom, Sumail coming with the rotation. They're just going to come in with a black hole, go straight in, sees an opportunity for a kill, and no holding back. Setting up for Arteezy to find himself involved in some act.
Honestly, every single time you have black hole up on the game, I think you should go for just...
Radiant's
You're never going to
bottom
get these
tower
big team fight black. Oftentimes, easy pick off.
This is pace of the game that EG are happy with, and they know that it's unlikely that Newbee anytime soon will be trying to commit.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
At the moment, it's just Newbee having to try and deal with the pressure that really keeping on. Now heading down on that bottom tier 1 as well. KP moving in. Get the repel out, of course, before the homing missile connects. But even at this stage, the physical damage doing quite a bit. Top lane, bit of a go being made by the Kaka tanking. Goes in with the burrow strike. He may just tick down, though. He does. He dies for this. They've brought SCCC and Mugi in, so they should be able to at least find the trade onto Fear, as they will take down the Dragon Knight. But to at least bite back into the lineup of EG somehow. But it does take those 2 cores making the rotation. And bottom lane, KP. But those 1 charges being chased all the way back by Arteezy.
has fallen.
The interesting part for me is I think EG can still defend that top lane push that's coming out from Mugi with that use of Metamorphosis. So he may have gotten a kill, but he's not going to be able to get a tower, and that is a little bit dissatisfying for Newbee. I guess they got a bit of a stack, though. They can clear through. A small hard camp stack gives them a little bit of extra value. Helmet Dominator is going to come up soon for Sumail. Between that and his Eidolons, he's going to have great split pushing presence all over the map. The 2 split pushers in this game, Terrorblade, Illusions, and Enigma. I think for oftentimes Newbee is going to want to be able to split up EG, but I think this pickup from Sumail is going to let that quite a bit.
Yep. Does pick up an Invis rune, but EG were well aware of it, was pinked out when he did grab it. His eyes on Sumail, and likely to be able to make a play, of course, as himself as this level 4 Sand King. The Helm, lots of regen on Sumail, rather tanky for this stage of the game.
Oh. Dragon Tail into the Ice Blast.
Let's get the Enrage off, so helping a little bit with that damage reduction, and a good Burrow Strike actually allows SCCC to look to turn it around. He looks to go on to Crit. Is it quite enough damage? They will get the 1-for-1 trade. The Static Storm bringing Fear down low. Fear backing up behind the tower. KP looking for the dive, but the reaction's coming from the rest of EG. The Malefice holding Faith in place as the Eidolons bring him down. The Fear, Dragon Knight Fire finally pushes the kill, so EG again will be able to make sure that these fights that Newbee keep going for just do not pay off for Newbee. Each getting the trade in their favor each and every time.
And this is perfect. You see what Misery is doing is he's sitting in this lane that is very likely to be the one that's dove and pressured, and he's kind of the sacrificial lamb, but he's also getting solo experience at the same time. So he gets his early level 6. He's probably going to die from a rotation eventually in a tower push, but that's okay. He's creating space for his team in a way.
Same fortification will come out for Newbee. Mass TP's coming in as well. They've got 4 heroes looking to fight here. They really want to do something about Sumail on that Enigma, but the midnight pulse, the Eidolons is just going to kill Faith straight in front of them. They do get the trade. Newbee will be able to find Sumail. Ice Blast coming in. Connect onto KP. Won't be quite enough damage to bring him down.
Every single time he's using the Satyr Purge on one of these supports and just throwing the Eidolons at them. It's actually a pretty devastating combo, considering the fact the lack of armor on most of these supports. The Eidolons dish out a good amount of physical damage.
Faith got absolutely destroyed, but and I guess that's the thing as well. I mean, in terms of AoE damage, it's not really amazing. We're sort of relying on the Sand King or a Purification being used to try and clear off those idlers. Other than that, there's going to be a high chance that Sumail can keep those units up on you, and very little you can do to get them off you.
Newbee, they have... What do they have? They don't have the Blink Dagger yet. Either one of their initiators, but they are going to go...
Maybe for Roche. They do have this Ursa, of course.
Sneaky Roche. This is dangerous against an Ancient Apparition.
Ooh, will EG be aware of this? I mean, you're playing against an Ursa. You know that this player is always going to come out at some sort of a point.
Yeah, at some point in time, EG, this wraparound, this deep wrap, they're going to see no heroes and be like, okay.
They should head towards the pit.
Yeah.
Let's see if they do that. Misery's thinking about it. Is he going to go towards that pit? Roshan. It's a half elf. It looks like SCCC. I think he's going to get away with it. Sumail is now moving over.
Oh, they realize
Look at the Ice Blast. It passes over. They've seen it. Sumail, he's heading in with the Midnight Pulse. They're in trouble, Newbee. Static Storm comes out straight away onto this Enigma. But already SCCC's fallen. The Roshan's so low. So EG, they walk in, they take it. Sumail takes the Aegis. It was always going to be a risky play, Cap, but that's the price you pay when you take those sort of risks, as EG get another huge step up in this game where they're already massively with the advantage.
Yeah, they did not have a whole lot of map control when they went for that smoke gank. Bottom lane was pushing in. They still have that tier 1 tower at top lane. I think that was like way too risky. There was no way EG was going to get caught completely off guard.
This is some serious momentum for EG. 11 for 4, 14 minutes in, 6k lead against Newbee. We saw this sort of dominance from EG yesterday, but to come in today and do it, this opening of this game 1 against Newbee really is quite something. This team, they just seem to have sorted out a lot of the issues that were apparent in the past. They are looking incredibly clean.
I love the fact that Sumail's going straight for the BKB. There is no interrupt on the side of Newbee. At least when it comes to abilities, they can always pick up a Helmet Dominator and grab one of the control creeps and go for the net play, but otherwise, BKB should just be a clean black hole every single time. And it's Newbee who have to oftentimes play into Evil Geniuses, so you don't really need to counter blink most of the time. Enigma.
Absolutely not. As we've seen, there's definitely going to be potential for him to walk in and a hole. And 14 minutes, another tier 2 taken by Evil Geniuses. Shadowblade finished for Fear, so they have that sort of initiation on the back of the Dragonite, and the mechanism now done for Sumail, as he just wants to keep this push going, as they're going straight in. It's 15 minutes, they're committing onto tier 3s here, EG. What's the answer going to be for Newbee?
I mean, they know there's no Blink Dagger on the Sand King and Ursa yet, so...
And they've actually just called out KP! Telekinesis into the Dragon Tail stun, that's the Omni Knight gone! He's down for 30 seconds, that's one of the cause of Newbee out of it. KP just having to watch this from the sidelines. As EG, at 15 minutes in, they're threatening the barracks. And it looks like they're going to take it. I think Newbee, they don't know what they could do to stop this. I think they realize they really can't. They just have to let this go.
Nice
Jumps
catch.
in, grabs the Sand King. There's going to be a full set of racks going down 15 minutes. This pace of Dota that EG is playing is something that I haven't seen from them in a while. This is just next level stuff from Evil Geniuses. This is what the fans at home were hoping to see from this all-star lineup, and they're getting it today.
I don't think I've ever seen a team really try and punish the Terrorblade's early timings and his long cooldown and metamorphosis like they just did. But I think it was just a combination of factors. The fact that the laning phase went so well, they knew the Blink Dagger, the very key items for Newbee, were not up on the Sand King and Ursa, and metamorphosis is down. Well, you've got nothing left in the tank at that point.
Top lane Mugi will find Arteezy. He's got the slow from the reflection. Arteezy will get glimpsed back, so will pay of his life. Newbee able to take down the gyrocopter. Get themselves something to try and help in the attempt to slow down this pace that EG's playing at.
Oh, they're setting up on SCC right now.
Ice Blast come through. Fear leads him with the stun from the Shadowblade. This man in a lot of trouble. He has got the Enrage to help limit some of the damage, but the Malefice holding him down and in place. SCCC will fall. This is getting massively out of hand for Newbee, and surely when there's a Rax down against you playing as an Ursa, this game is so hard for the Ursa now.
Yeah, it's pretty much Mugi's game is over, and now, or excuse me, SEC's game is entirely over, and it's all up to Mugi to carry this game as the Terrorblade. It's still one of the best carries in the game, so there is still a possibility that Newbee can make that really long comeback, but it's usually you're just giving him no quarter whatsoever.
And 17 minutes in, Sumail He's got full greaves on this Enigma. I know we had a stat yesterday about Sumail's Beastmaster being one of the most fun. This has got to be sort of
Radiant's middle tower has
up
fallen.
in terms of the Greaves timing, at least. I very rarely see a Greaves this early on being completed by an Enigma. So the push is so strong. The amount of sustain that EG have is incredible. The auras from the Greaves and the Helm of the Dominator just keeping EG in full fighting shape. You got the passive regen as well from Fear, of course, from his passive. They'll try and jump in Kaka. Just go for the epicenter straight away. But look at this. The Black Hole comes out for Sumail. Will be cancelled here. The homing missile out to SCCC, though. No one is dying on EG. This is the problem. Newbee commit with the Static Storm in the epicenter, and the sustain is too much from Evil Geniuses. They just stand their ground. They don't care that the Black Hole gets cancelled because they just push on, take another melee racks. A buyback will come out from KP. But this is absolutely brutal for Newbee. And Fear, he's looking about going back in with the Shadow Blade.
I thought they would go back and protect their tier 3, but apparently not.
Dire
What do you do here if you're Newbee?
They really are going to lose their tier 3. They don't go back.
They've got the glimpse, but they've stolen Repel. There, crit
Nice
with the
pick
casual
up.
save onto Fear, making sure he's not in trouble. Arteezy has got his own BKB, so now they just rinse and repeat. They're going to head up to the top lane. They're going to push that one round in about a couple of minutes of time. We're going to see Newbee on the verge of maybe losing another melee racks.
Crazy. This game.
I don't think, as you know, even the most sort of avid EG fan this morning would not have expected EG to play like this against Newbee in this game one. This is...
Yeah, their wet dreams was not this graphic.
This is...
The Blink Dagger's finally up for the Ursa, but you have Guardian Greaves on the Enigma. You have like BKB up on the Gyrocopter, so he is just going to be able to kite you around most of the time. The Dragonite is on full tank mode, and he's going to have a BKB pretty well. And the supports, both of them are just going to sit super far back. So unless you do some sort of smoke wraparound, you're not going to get the kill. And that's what Ursa needs. He's one of those heroes that needs to be able to jump in and get the numbers advanced.
I mean, look at Crit as well. Just, there's so many things to highlight about this lineup, but this is 19 minutes in, and Crit's Ruby, he's got a Blink, a Yours, and Arcanes. He's 5-1 and 5. I
Dire's middle
mean,
tower
this game is really
Radiant are
quite
scanning.
something for Evil Genius.
And all they need, just one more team fight to close it out. Newbee are going to stand their ground. They're not even going to wait for a tier 2 push. They're going to try and meet them.
Let's see what they can do outside of the base. They're leading straight away onto Fear. The Ice Blast will fly across. Arteezy moving in with the BKB on the sidelines. They're cutting up at CCC with the Malefice. They've already taken down the Sand King. They'll find the Ursa as well. That's 2 down on Newbee. Newbee just can't put a dent into this lineup of EG. Honestly, this Helm of the Dominator and Grease Aura combination from Sumail is just so much sustained. Regenning up the lineup. They're just constantly at full health. On the side, Fear's managed to find KP. Mugi's trying to turn with the Metamorphosis, but the Malefice on GG is called. 20 minutes of pain for Newbee finally comes to an end. EG, honestly, I want to know what these kids have had for breakfast. That was absolutely incredible. No one in the world could have expected that. This game one was just over like this. EG, and look, there is another day in the office for these guys. They know that it's only game one of the best of 3. Anything can happen as the series goes on, but this game one, that was quite something.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a bit of a draft win there for Evil Geniuses, combined with the fact that their very smart laning phase decisions also gave them a huge lead. And then the Roshan was just kind of the nail in the coffin. Newbee can definitely reset. There's a couple things. First of all, Dragonite is incredibly good right now. He's been winning so many games and picking up the Ursa. Like you saw, he had like 21 armor. And that's before the Guardian Greaves armor kicks in. So if they ever run into the Dragonite, it's going to take forever to kill him, to bring him down, because they've got just so much physical damage focus between Terrorblade and Ursa. Like, they have no magic damage to actually throw into any of these heroes. So I think the draft was definitely there for EG, and resulting just a couple of big plays.
Yeah.
EG close it out super fast.
Absolutely. That 20-minute stomp from Evil Geniuses, ladies and gentlemen, as they will take game one against Newbee.
Excellent performance from EG. You could almost rephrase them as easy after that game. What a great opening start. Day number 4 for Evil Geniuses. They take that opening game against the favourites Newbee. Let's find out what our panel members made of that. I think